Okay, so welcome to another episode of comXone. So this last week in Edmonton, Alberta, I took part in it's the third annual comic and zine fair. It's put on by the Art Gallery of Alberta. Always a good time. It's an awesome show, but not a lot of people can make it. So I like to show you all the stuff I've traded for, and I got some real doozies. I got some really, really good stuff in this. But to start, like we sometimes do around here, we're going to start with some flagrant self-promotion. Here's a new zine I just finished. It debuted at this show. So it was the first time I showed it was this weekend, about the Alberta Midland. Created this one on stream. Let's take a quick look at it. I think it turned out pretty nice. So as always, I get a nice envelope packaging that I create. And I did this one digitally for the first time. This one I've been traditionally doing with pen and ink on paper, light boxing from the design I did. This time I wanted to get a little more fine line work going on. So I did this one purely digitally. And I think it turned out great. I think if anything, it's easier to read, because you're not reading my really, really thick handwriting. I'm really happy with how this turned out. So I was able to get so much finer detail than I used to. Especially good for this one, because I was doing this one-room schoolroom that is all stone. And that's a hard thing to do with the way that I draw normally. As always, I ended off after telling the history of these places with a nice map. The map turned out really good. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this. Got to draw a lot of trains, a lot of train stations, tons and tons of trains, and some grain elevators. But that's not all. The flagrant self-promotion's not done yet. We've got that guy there, but I'm also taking part in an online zine fair right now that's put on by Broken Pencil. That's the folks that did the Broken Pencil Zine Awards that I was a part of this last year with one of my Ghost Town zines. It's happening over at canzine.ca. Let's take a very quick look at that. So Broken Pencil is doing their Spring Canzine. They're doing it online for the first time. So this is super exciting. It's at canzine.ca. And once you go into it, it's a little confusing once you get into it. They have so many vendors this year. They have almost 100 vendors, I believe. Once you go through, it gives you a list of categories for it. And it randomizes every time you load it up. So you're going to find it a little different every time you come into this. If you want to find my zines, you go under the Litival Times. They've lumped me in with the literary zines this time. My stuff is more of an info zine if you want to get into genres. But you'd find me, oh, look at that. In this case, I'm right at top. Once again, when you load into this, it's randomized. So you're going to find me in a different place every time. But there's me. That's my stuff. All my stuff is there, both digital and physical. But that's not the best part of this. The best part I think about Spring Canzine that's happening right now is that you can order things from any of these 100 or so creators. You order once, they gather everything up from the creators and they ship it out to you a single time. So you pay shipping once, which is awesome because you can pick up like a whole schwack of really cool stuff. And there's a lot of really incredible stuff in here. So you could grab, something from Mixed Rice Zines or from Zoombats and something from me and something from the Gita Cooperative, and they'll ship it all out to you at the same time. So this is taking place until the 21st of April. And then, don't miss out. Don't miss out. It's pretty cool. And I hope they do it again. It's pretty exciting to be a part of it. Okay. That's the self-promotion over. Now we're going to get into the good stuff. So like I said, that's Broken Pencil puts that on. I've put their information over here. Broken Pencil Meg. They have both a Twitch and an Instagram. But now let's start delving into what I picked up at the AGA market. We're going to start here with Irenwill, and I'll be putting their information up in this little zone as we go through this. So Irenwill Shi creates these awesome things. Look at that. Look at that. If I can get it to focus on it, you'll really get a good view. But Irenwill is creating. See, it's looking at this over here. Look at that. Look at that amazing sticker. Yeah, I picked up. So I did some trades with most people, and Irenwill's work, especially with the cats, I really was grabbing onto. Look at these; they're so pretty. Let's put Irenwill's information up on the screen here. So as always, if you like what you see, I'd ask that seek the person out, or at least follow them on Instagram, and look at more of their stuff. Irenwill is really talented. I have another zine from Irenwill kicking around somewhere from another show, so I recognize the one zine called Memento. That they did that we'll be going through at some point. I've got a stack of zines. I got a couple boxes from a couple of shows late last year that I haven't shown yet, but I wanted to be really timely on this one. The other things I grabbed from Irenwill are these awesome buttons. One Punch Man. I love One Punch Man, and yeah, it's Saitama looking very different. So Irenwill Shi, yeah, does a lot of stuff. Does buttons, stickers, zines, comics, you name it. A lot of great stuff. I want to mention, I only have a business card for this one here, but I really want to mention what Michael's doing with Iron Octopus Productions. Really cool stuff. He's creating a set of comics that all go together. I'm going to grab his information here. So Michael is doing a series called the Adventures of Shabu and Claw. Is it? I believe. And it's a rabbit and another little furry creature and their adventures, and it's really cool. It's really cute. Unfortunately, I didn't pick any up this weekend, but I was talking to Michael about the work he's done. He's done production work with most of the big, with some really big game publishers, as well as with some really interesting creators. And one thing I wanted to mention that Michael is doing, he's building a game right now. So he's working on a game called Broken Ceiling that'll be going to Steam. And the great thing about that is if you follow him at the Gentleman Robot that I have over there, you'll see that you'll see some of the progress that he's making. Let's take a quick gander. So you can see here he's working with some environments for a game level, and then by following his progress, you'll see what he did to add some really cool tiling to the floor. He's doing it's basically a Cthulhu themed game. And so this is a lot of in-progress stuff. So being able to see how the sausage is made for a game, I've always found intensely satisfying. So being able to see what he's doing, I believe Michael is more active on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it these days. He's more active on there, but you still get to see some of this stuff. He built this amazing portal that you'll be going through. And here he's got the player character Ruffton as well that you'll be playing as. Really amazing hand-drawn art. I love it when there's hand-drawn art in a game. So yeah, definitely give him a follow, because I'm very, very interested to see how this game turns out and to check it out on Steam once it releases. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is something special, folks. This is something really special. The creator, unfortunately, I don't believe is on Instagram, but I'll put their website up. So Cui Jinzhe, and I'm probably saying that wrong. I was trying to look up the right way to say their last name, but I was finding about 3 different ways to do it. But I'm going to say it's Jinzhe. Cui Jinzhe makes these amazing, amazing art cards, and also paintings and everything else using traditional techniques. So you're seeing traditional painting styles, calligraphy, fine line drawing, and drawing from very traditional sort of sources. So when I was looking at their stuff, I wanted to look at that. Look how fine that line work is. Just amazing. I was blown away by Cui's work. Let me grab their website and put it up on the screen here as well before I forget. So, some really special stuff here. So if I cuijinzhe.com. So I got one when I was trading. I wanted to get this one that was a little more traditional. And then I also selected another one that I thought was more playful, that plays with more, kind of less traditional, less traditional motifs here. I thought that was great. The flowers coming out of the posterior. Pretty awesome stuff. Yeah, I was really blown away. Cui has some really amazing credentials to her name. Has been trained at some very prestigious schools and is creating just this beautiful, beautiful work. It was so kind. It was so much fun talking to her. So definitely check out the work from them. Some of the paintings she was doing were just beautiful. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. The next one we're going to move into, we're going to move through these pretty swiftly. I don't have a ton to show, but we're still going to move fairly swiftly through these. Like I said, if you want to go back and see any of the ones that you wanted to take a second look at and maybe follow them, this will be up on YouTube probably in the next day or so. This next stuff is from Lil Nick. And let me grab their information here. This is from Nicole at Little Nick Art. So check them out. Really, I got just a great bunch of things here. The pocketbook of bug art. This was a really nice little pocketbook, little sort of chapbook. If I can get it to look at my, don't look at my hands, but look at the book. We'll get it. We'll get there. We'll get there. So entomology. Oh, look at these. Just gorgeous, gorgeous illustrations. I swear, sometimes by having books over here, it likes to look at those. There we go. Here we go. We're going to get it under control. We're going to get this all under control. Come on now. There we go. Look at these amazing, amazing illustrations. Look at that cicada. Oh my God. So good. Nicole is really very nice and really amazing work. So we're going to go through a few different things that I got from her today. Natural wonders. While these bugs weren't made entirely scientifically correct, they were made by someone enamored by the delicate and intricate details of these little critters are teeming with. There are 13 insects featured in this book, which originate from a larger collection of 21. Each bug was hand-drawn and shaded with a tiny 0.005 millimeter pen to capture the complex beauty. See, that's the stuff I can't do. That's why I've been going more and more digitally, because that is I would break that pen 1,000 times a day. Look at that death's head moth. Oh my God, it's just so supple. You feel like you could feel the texture of that wing. Nicole, oh my goodness, what are you doing to me? Good stuff. This one here is called Dread. Let's see. Dread is a work that explores feelings of unease around the passage of time and the inevitability of death, while confronting the viewer with images of decomposition. Lines of poetry are interwoven throughout to punctuate the melancholic atmosphere this piece evokes, or invokes. Hi, 3D. So yeah, what Nick has done here has placed poetic lines next to images of death and decay. Victims of time, alive, not yet dead, tortured, vile, and mad in the head. Really nice work. Really, really nice work. The world spun on, unwinding like thread, never looking back into the eyes of the dead. So good. So good. I love that book. This one has amazing photography of some really beautiful places. Look at that. Really nice stuff. Everything that Nick had on display was really, really quite cool. My camera's not going to focus on this one. It's like, nope, you're looking at through the VHS filter. We're going to look at Wild Rose before we move on to Dismal and Decaying. There's a secret under here. Wild Rose, a tabletop art book. Once again, look at the fine lines that Nicole is creating here. Look at that. So the Three Sisters Mountains are here in Alberta, out at Canmore. There are three sort of, they call them the Three Sisters because they're all situated right next to each other and they kind of loom over the town. And the way she's drawing the sort of topography to go with it to create that texture. There's Moraine Lake. This is some of the kind of art that I really, really love when you get these really intricate drawings of something that you've probably seen here in Alberta quite a bit if you live here, and which I have. So when you see like the Three Sisters drawn in that way, like the Drumheller Hoodoos, which I am quite familiar with since I just did that Drumheller zine last year. Come on now. I never know what is going. There we go. I just have to go closer than I even think. Look at that. Hoodoos, if you've never heard of them, are formations caused by the erosion of the Badlands sort of stratas, the striations of the rocks and stone. As the wind goes through them, it carves them out into these pillars. Let's read the description of this one. This collection strives to capture the natural beauty of Alberta through detailed contour line drawings. Each illustration features an iconic location and organically occurring landmark, which showcases the versatility of the province through the different characteristics each one is known for. Altogether, the drawings of Wild Rose become more than an assortment of landscapes. They transcend into a portrait of Alberta, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. There are currently 5 pieces in this body of work with the potential for more on the horizon. All the work presented in this booklet is available as quality charcuterie boards. That's awesome. Live edge walnut affirms the elegance of the boards, while the resin suffused designs add intrigue and personal taste to the arrangement. Oh my goodness. So you can look this up, this Kitakami, if you want to see some finely crafted charcuterie boards to go with this. What a smart idea. What a smart idea. Okay, Dismal and Decaying. She had covered up because there's a bit of a whoopsie doodle from this Space Lamb. A collection of dark art and poetry. So one thing I really like about some of Nicole's work is uses very dark themes. My heart spilled out from inside my chest after countless fears not put to rest. We'll read just a couple of selections out of this. And these just beautiful, beautiful illustrations go with each one. And as you sat there with eyes closed, I held my breath and turned to bones. Very, very good. Some really nice poetry and some really cool dark imagery to go with it. You know, this reminds me of like a very like Lovecraftian or Edgar Allan Poe style. Really good stuff. Let's read the back of this one as well, and then we'll move on to the next creator. Themes of melancholy, maltreatment, insecurity, and fear intermingle in this collection of poetry to create a grim and pensive atmosphere. Accumulated over 12 years, this body of work is informed by lived experience and introspection. Illustrations just as macabre as the poetry itself line the pages and emphasize the sinister tone of the work. Dismal and decaying resonates with the human proclivity for sadness, while simultaneously being deeply personal. Lil Nick is a local Edmonton artist with an interest in traditional, digital, and fiber art. Oftentimes her work poses an enticing juxtaposition between disgust and allure. Her practice deals with themes around body, horror, and fantasy. Poetry has remained a platform of expression for numerous years in her life. However, this is her first endeavor to publicize it. Did a hell of a job, I'll tell you that. Nick, if you see this, very impressed. I really love how Nick always gives a sort of like an artist statement on the back of each one. I think that helps to kind of solidify in your mind what the artist was going for, and I think that's pretty smart. Okay, the next creator here, you will find Gracie at Quilted Mycelium. There we go. So you can follow Gracie at Quilted Mycelium on Instagram. Let's work our way up to this piece. This is the Piece de la Resistance. Very, very nice. We're going to keep moving up because I wanted to talk about these two pieces in particular. So right now, Gracie is completing, I believe it is either, I'm not sure if it's their undergrad or their graduate studies here. And so they've created a video presentation, and I'm going to put a link to that as well. Let's see, there's vimeo.com/8185755183. Let me put this. So you can take a look at this video that they've created called A Purple Vest at the End of the World. That is a companion to this piece, or this is the companion to that piece, rather. It's called Clive. And this takes stills from the video and uses them to create this zine, this nice 8-page mini zine. The lights went out. The sky was blue again. The end of the world had come and gone. Awesome. Really cool. And I love it when people use the inside of the zine. It's what I do with my work as well when I do this. You get a nice, you might as well use the inside. A purple vest from the end of the world. So take a look, I'd say, take a look at the Vimeo video that goes with this, because that's going to create the full sort of picture of what the artist was going for. Another piece here. It accompanies, I believe, the same video. Yeah, this is stills from A Purple Vest at the End of the World from Gracie. This time done in a really, really thick paper. And Gracie had these in all sorts of different colors. I chose a nice bright pink. I thought would stand out real nice. So these are stills, once again, from that video. And I love using using these structures, these man-made structures become these like totems or titans of the prairies. You see these electrical poles everywhere. Once again, we get the nice shot on the inside. Purple vest from the end of the world. So they're showing this video as part of their grad show. So I wanted to make sure that I included it over here. So take a look at that, please. It's very good. Mind Horse is the next one we'll look at. This is brand new this year. This is a brand new 2024 piece. Picture a horse in your mind. Is it realistic? What color is it? Is it angular, like a poorly rendered 2008 video game horse? Sit for a moment with the horse in your mind. Now, rotate the horse on the horizontal axis, not the vertical. The horse is now rotating in your mind. How does that make you feel? Sit for a moment with the rotating horse in your mind. So I like that there's like a thought experiment in here. We won't read all of it. You're just going to have to check out Gracie's stuff. But yeah, it's a cool, like, it eventually gets to where it's trying to make you feel more and more uncomfortable. Ends here later. Sit forever with the horse in your mind. So it's very Lynchian. It's what it conjures for me. It's very taking the ordinary, taking your own, making your own thoughts and this thought experiment and using it to take you to an uncomfortable place. So yeah, Mind Horse. That's super clever. And here, this, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. It's called No Longer, once again from Gracie. And what I love that they've done in this is they've done this hand-drawn sort of almost like biomechanical drawings in with these photographs. And then, oh my God, turning them into these amazing creatures and the protagonist of the story, and also the backdrop that you're working with. So you can see in the background here, it's a bunch of nuts and bolts and gears and other nails and assorted hardware and rusted metal, while these drawings of that idea of almost like a biomechanical pipework in front of it. And it's amazing. Both Nick and Gracie were splitting a table at the AGA show, and both of them, the way they mix sort of prose and their art is really amazing. Oh my gosh, look at that. Having it show through the character's arm. Searching among the rubble for scraps and half-handed repairs, for pieces that don't fit and those too degraded for use. And you can see what I'm saying about the biomechanical. It's amazing. This might be my zine of the show. I think this might be my favorite piece that I picked up. It's quite amazing. Which is it's a tough thing. I got a lot of really cool stuff, but this one, the second I saw it, and I went, Gracie, you're willing to trade me this for my stuff? Yes, please. Okay, here's my neighbor. This was one of the people in the next. I had Irenwill, who I showed earlier, was on one side of me, and Gord, and on the other side we had Michelle here, and Michelle Theodore. So let me put their information up on the screen here. Michelle is really cool. What a great person to show next to. Very, very nice, very friendly, very kind, and fun. And the work that Michelle is creating, there was one piece I wish I would have gotten. They had this thing that was a super monkey ball fanzine sort of thing, but it was called Existential Crisis. And it was about the monkey ball character, I think it is, having this like existential crisis about their life. I believe. It was so cool, but I unfortunately I didn't grab onto that. But I did trade for 70 Star Dreamer, which is about Mario. And very specifically, so I was asking Michelle about, Michelle was telling me that they're really interested in Super Mario 64 speed runs, and that's where the inspiration for this comes from. So the 70 Star Dreamer, maybe this will be the run. It feels a bit easier this time. A little lighter. I will remember this feeling. And yeah, the beautiful, and you see these things and they just evoke that game so much, but of course, just beautifully, beautifully drawn. I will remember this feeling no matter what happens next. Yeah, so this was inspired by Michelle's love of speedruns of Super Mario 64. It was very cool. I love that piece. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Make sure I don't drop everything here. So this is a piece from Sharks and Donuts, Chelsea. So Sharks and Donuts at chelseawong.ca. But I'm gonna put the old Instagram up here. So Chelsea had some really cool stuff. I wish I could have gotten more of their stuff because it was really cool. Lots of really nice bright colors, and the way they create these things are really nice. But I really was in love with this black and white work that Chelsea was doing. And they had 3 of these in a series. It was always Jezebel, and Jezebel in the Spirit is the one I picked up. And just this really amazing black and white work. Really quite expertly drawn. Very nice. It reminds me a bit of some pieces I've shown previously from someone by the name of Hoxley. Does this sort of very stark and very heavy black work, and it reminded me of that, and I really loved it. So it's Jezebel in the Spirit. This reminds me of the door opening in the old Resident Evil games. Hi, Squid. Hi, Cerebral. So yeah, Jezebel summoning a spirit. The work is so good. And then it starts to get more and more into this sort of style. These lashing strokes. Really beautiful work with Chelsea. Summoning a spirit friend. So they end up friends in the end. Yeah, so that's Sharks and Donuts. Really cool work. I'm looking forward to trading more in the future with them at future Edmonton shows and getting the rest of that series. They had 2 more of them. So Owl Adventures Art is the next one we're going to show here. And I'll tell you, folks, if you like following people on Instagram, this is a very good one. You get to see some really, really great and cute, cozy stuff. So Owl and Penguin. Sarah creates zines and comics and all sorts of things and stickers as well for Owl here, who goes on adventures. And you'll often find it's Owl and Penguin hanging out. And as soon as I saw this, now Iceland is one of my favorite places in the whole world. As soon as I saw this Owl and Penguin's World Tour in Iceland, there's the whole panorama of the northern lights above them. Really beautiful work. Sarah is very, very good. Here they are, supping with a puffin pal. I was telling Sarah about my trip to Iceland, and I think I convinced her to go back. Newly erupted volcano. So you kind of get like a little travelogue of them. Here's Mount Kirkufell up in the Snaefell's Peninsula. And I told Sarah, if you didn't manage to get up to Snæfell's, that's my favorite place in Iceland. Beautiful, beautiful work. So yeah, owladventures.ca or at owladventuresart. It's a great way to see what Sarah's been up to. I really like that Owl Adventure stuff. It's just a nice, soft, cozy thing. Okay, we're going to move on to 3 pieces from Catherine Dubois. And we'll take a close look at each of these, but just feast your eyes on that while I put Catherine's information up on the screen here. Catherine is one of Gordon, my favorite people in Edmonton. We love hanging out with her and her partner. So Dubois Draws is the name that you'll find Catherine's work under. She had these amazing art postcards based on artworks. So she just finished a Kickstarter actually for this character she does, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. So this fishy character here is this one here is named Manmer, and Catherine has run this really great Kickstarter. I'm going to bring something up on screen here. So Manmer here, she just created a Kickstarter. It just finished off, and they successfully funded for some sticker sheets with Manmer, who's this fun fish dude with his butt's always hanging out. And I love him. I love him a lot. Yeah, really cool. And look at this Manmer plushie she's got. Great stuff. Really great stuff. So when I was selecting, and she had a number of these, she had ones based on many famous paintings. I had to go for Gustav Klimt's the Kiss, because that's one of my favorite paintings of all time. Given a good fishy kiss. And then the 2 Red Dragon pieces, which were just perfect. It's like they were tailor-made for me. Look at that. Look at that. Manmer beast with his pink butt hanging out. I love him. I love Manmer a lot. That's Catherine Dubois at Dubois Draws. Yeah, great stuff. Manmer is just such a little sweetie. Here's some pieces from Jasmine Hume. These are awesome. I thought it was awesome that I was able to find some sci-fi stuff at this market. I was pretty pumped about that. So Jasmine, this is from what I was talking about with talking to Jasmine about, is I believe this is her first like larger like sequential sort of comic style zine, creating more of a narrative. And this was a brand new piece from her as well, based on a true story. Spacey. So showing that in art college, she had big dreams of creating a Titanic story, but in space. And then the critique that it needs to be more spacey. How so? Just more spacey. Yeah, just make it, more spacey. We sometimes get some interesting critiques when we're showing our art. And sometimes it is just, so yeah, how do you do that? Spacey. Make it more spacey. Make it spacey. Sometimes that's all you get for notes, and it's very confusing. Hi, Luca. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I don't talk as much to the chat as I'm doing these ones, so my apologies, but thank you so much for tuning in. We're looking at zines from the AGA 3rd Annual Art Gallery of Alberta comic and zine market. I was a part of this last weekend. So, like I said, Intergalactic, this is Jasmine pushing out of her comfort zone and doing a larger sort of sequential story. In the depths of space, a daring crew embarks on a thrilling expedition to uncover the secrets of uncharted worlds. Cool. Look at that little dragon friend. Little dragony sort of friend. Along the way, they meet fascinating creatures and stumble upon hidden wonders waiting to be discovered. And not all encounters are peaceful. So they do encounter a large, scary beast. Yeah, this is a cool piece. And I hope that Jasmine does more of these. Because Jasmine obviously likes sci-fi stuff. So I want to see more out of her. She does cool stuff. Everything she does is very good. So that's Jasmine Hume. Here's a cool little piece I traded for. I'm going to put their information up on the screen here. So the Instagram handle for Leah is Regency, Dignity, Elegance. So Leah had some really cool pieces. She had this like fold out piece. I was looking at, so we were across the hall from each other, and I was looking. She had this big piece on a board. Unfortunately, it wasn't for sale, and it had like a fold out thing, and I was just staring at it a whole lot. I was probably weirding her out because it looks like I was staring at this piece that she had. Really cool stuff. And so she does these really cool sort of abstracted things. So I traded for this cool art card. It's sort of butterfly-esque. It's almost like a Rorschach test, you know? So yeah, really nice and really nicely presented. She came over and she handed this to me. I really want to trade you this for something you got. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Let's trade. I love doing trades. Okay. Oh my gosh, these pieces. If Gracie's no longer was my piece of the show, this is maybe tied for it. Is these ones here. So, oh my god. I'm going to wax poetic for a minute about risograph. If you've never heard of risograph printing, it captures the feeling of printmaking, but on a larger scale. So Amanda Schutz. I knew I would say that wrong. I told myself earlier today, you're going to say Schutz, and it's Schutz. Amanda Schutz created these two pieces, and they are printed in what's called risograph printing. So risograph, what makes it so special is it captures, like I said, the mechanics of printmaking. So it's done, these are all done in two colors. And this one here, you've got the green and you've got the orange. And you can see where it overlaps, where the two overlap. You get the interplay of color on top of color. So it takes a really steady hand because you need to know how it's going to interact and what color you're going to result in, where those two inks are overlapping. And these are just so supple. Look at all this fine detail. It's just so good. Excuse my dry hands. Don't look at the hands, look at the art. Forest bathers tend to wander with intention. They are the nurturers of plants. Forest bathers may choose to move slow or zoom very fast. And just look at the interplay of the colors. So this is like, I've seen some great risograph pieces. These might be my favorite risograph pieces I've ever gotten my hands on. They are stewards of land and water, protectors for future generations. Showing some fireweed, some yarrow, and some sage. Forest bathers just like to take it all in. So I don't know if I've ever seen someone who is taking it to this level of intricacy and of the interplay of using like stippling techniques and almost like ink spray to really make the interplay between the two colors really play out in the way that you see here. The Tomato Lover is the other one here. It's a set of recipes. Roasting tomatoes, red currant mint soda, floral salad, nasturtium, which I don't know what that is. It's a pesto. Zucchini pasta, and berry tarts. And just, yeah, knowing the interplay of the colors, there's a real steady hand at the wheel on this one. Amanda is really, really knocking this out of the park. Like I said, probably tied for my zines of the show. I got to run into my friend Teddy at this show. I've shown some things from Teddy previously. Let's make sure that I'm putting that in right here. So yes, Teddy Edwards, you'll find at Teddy Kaboom. Now the cool thing about Teddy is he has some art pieces and zines like this one, Plum, and we'll get back to this one. But he also has this game called Legumi. I was very, very grateful. He came up and said, "Hey, here's a Steam activation code. I have this game on itch." And he said, "You were kind of a really early champion of my game." And he gifted me this Steam activation code for it. So I loved it. He's just come out with an updated and upgraded and tweaked version of Legumi. It's a cool little game. Let me read you what it's about. So Legumi are small, helpless species of bean-eating creatures that used to possess the secret to true happiness. However, the secret has been lost for generations. In times of old, Legumi would embark on quests, following invisible roads dotted with mysterious wisdom houses, which would lead to where true happiness can be found. But the world has grown dangerous and full of monsters. Such a quest has not been attempted for generations. You play as a young Legumi who is just brash and sad and brave enough to set out on the first quest for true happiness and living memory. Your survival will depend on your ability to manage your time, your beans, and Legumi's secret weapon, pips. So it's a cool little. It's like it's sort of fashioned like a JRPG. It's sort of a top-down isometric sort of top-down game, but there's, as I mentioned there's a few resources you need to look at. He needs to, you only have so much time that you can live, and you refill those by taking in beans, and you do that by finding them in the world, and you expel them as you are fighting monsters in the world. You are using the beans to attack them. So it's a resource. There's a bit of a resource dance that you need to do, and there's a time that you need to keep refilling to make sure that you keep surviving until you get further on your quest to find true happiness. And you find these wisdom houses that are like this white building here, and a cool little dude in there who's kind of just sitting chilling will tell you a real deep thought. It's a cool little game. I recommend you check them out on Steam. Legumi. It's pretty cool. This QR code would take you there, but of course my camera's probably not gonna. No. Camera's like, no. You're just gonna have to search Legumi. Now it decides to Legumi. It's cool. It's a cool game. I've been meaning to check it out again. With the sort of 2.0 release that Teddy did. So I'll probably do that on a future stream. And I got this piece from Teddy called Plum. And it's actually a cool story. It's a short story. Plum. I got number 2 of 10. Look at that. Lucky me. So yeah, it's a cool short story. I have not read it through yet. I'm going to sit down probably in front of the fireplace some night or before bed and read through this. All about Plum's journey and Plum's adventure here. Yeah. So check out Teddy's stuff. Check out Teddy's game. Legumi is super cool. And It's super cool to know people who are creating these games. Like I said earlier, met that Michael who is creating Broken Ceiling, and with Teddy creating Legumi. It's just cool to see independent games made and get a feel for it. Oh yeah, this is nice. This is very nice. This is one of my other very favorite people in. So many great people in Edmonton. So many great people. So this is K Hogan. You'll find K Hogan on Instagram at, imagine that, K Hogan Arts. So I picked up this piece. I've gone through some of K's other work and other zines on previous installments of the comXone, but I picked up this one that is sort of evoking the like the house from Up, or just another house on balloons. Yeah, you'll find some really cool stuff that Kay does is this Fat Cat comics as well. That's a nice piece. That's a really nice piece. I was happy to trade for that. I've got a couple of pieces here. I got a couple of things from Emily Fyfe. Look at these. Cool. We're rumbling ahead here. So you can find Emily's stuff. Emily's website is, let's see if that shows up, emilyfyfe.com or .ca, pardon me. emilyfyfe.ca. Come on. Look at it. Look at it. Feel it. Nope. Not going to do it. Oh, there we go. emilyfyfe.ca. Or at Emily_art39. I got this great hen boots. Oh my god, it's just so nice. Emily had some really nice stickers. So I got this hen in boots. Look at my old hands. Look how old my hands are. Don't look at the hands, look at the art. And I got this piece here, which I hope I didn't get before. You see, sometimes I forget which pieces I get from people. This one's called Giveaway. I believe this was new to me. Look at the art in that. Emily is really good. I wish I could draw people 10% as good as this. Getting swallowed up by the earth here. It just gives way below them. Cool piece. Really cool piece. Emily's awesome. Okay, next one here. We're going to look at Hanna Nobert. Make sure I say that right. Yeah, Hanna Nobert. I always think I'm remembering her last name wrong. But lucky, I didn't. So you can find Hanna Nobert at, imagine that, at Hanna Nobert. So I got these two really great art cards. Make sure I get this the right way. There we go. Really beautiful work. Like, there's almost like some Cezanne in this. Really nice brushwork, really nice colors, and the contrast. Really beautiful work. Really nice. And nice, like, paying lots of attention to both sides of the card, which I like. You know, giving you even an additional look. Look at that. Look at the detail. So good. Just beautiful supple work. I say supple a lot because, boy, these young folks, they are creating some really great work that you just want to like get your hands on. Here's Flight. This is from Diane Hitchens. Let's put their information up. I love the Instagram handle for Diane here. It's at @1_little_gremlin. I like it when things are packaged so nice too. It's called Flight. This is a great piece. Really great piece. Really beautiful. And I love it when things fold out. Look at that. As you've seen from my zines, I love it when things just almost infinitely fold out. Look at that. Once we get all the way in there, we see the one little gremlin. There's her little gremlin character flying on the back of the, hanging on for dear life, but enjoying it. He's having a hell of a time. He's having the best time of his life. The vantage point you get here is super cool. That's awesome. That's a great little piece. We'll see if I ever get it back together. Watch an old man fumble with string. Or yarn, I guess. Oh, I did it. Look at that. Wonders never cease. We've got 2 more creators here. Joni Taylor I met this weekend. Used to be from Vancouver and is now relocated to Alberta. So welcome to Alberta, Joni. It was great to meet you. She was two tables away from us. Very nice. And you'll find Joni Taylor at Joni Draws. Put that up on the screen here. So these are our great little slice of life comics based on Joni's observations as a feminist here in Canada. And I love that the illustration on each one of these on the front of them sort of continue this feeling from earlier times in Vancouver. And this is just a cool slice of life. We'll take a closer look at this one. To see what is in front of one's nose needs a constant struggle. George Orwell. Well, is that gonna? How close do I have to get before this thing will recognize things and I was walking past an elevator in a parking garage when I heard the telltale ding. As its door slid open, I saw 2 older women inside. When they didn't exit, I realized they were probably on the wrong floor. They finally pressed the right button. I'm not sure why, but I felt the need to protect their tech embarrassment, so I got in. Hi, ladies. Hey. Feeling gender camaraderie, I smiled. When they stared back blankly, I said, us girls need to stick together. And she's met with silence. Yeah. Popular media focuses on a certain body and age stereotype. I'm more interested in the unconventional. It's my way of validating the silent majority. So yeah, really cool pieces. I was really happy to get all 4 of these. They continue on showing Joni's observations. Here's this one's really interesting. This is probably my favorite one. This one here about their superpower, which they see as once you reach a certain age as a woman, you kind of become invisible to people. So the superpower is basically the superpower of being the incredible, invisible, middle-aged woman. But it doesn't always work. It sometimes fizzles out at the worst moments. It's handy when you want to go unnoticed, but not so handy when you don't. And every once in a while, it comes apart when you don't want it to. Yeah, really great pieces. And as I often say with zines and comics, is I want to be put in the shoes of somebody whose life and their outlook and their experience is different than my own. So I love these pieces that they're all from a self identifying feminist, so that I can look through Joni's eyes in each of these and see how they view the world. And it's cool because it's eye-opening when you get that kind of slice of life from someone. So great work from Joni. Super happy I was able to get all 4 of these. And really happy to have Joni here in Alberta with us. We've wooed Joni from the coast to landlocked Alberta. You never know how it happens, but it happens. Okay, we've got one more. And this is a special one. So you're going to find Jeff Martin at Heat_comic, pardon me, on Instagram. Jeff is awesome. Another one of my very favorite, all these people. I keep saying everybody's my favorite. Some of my favorite people in Edmonton. They're all my favorite. The people in Edmonton sure are nice. I finally picked up volumes 1 and 2 of Jeff Martin's Redcoats, or Redcoats-ish, I think is the proper name for that. It's Jeff Martin's humorous take on the War of 1812. And as a historical comic and historical zine maker, look at the little dude he drew for me. And in the other one, he drew the other dude. Look at those. Love it. Love it. So Jeff Martin does these 2 volumes of his take on the War of 1812, and they're very fun. His art style is great, by the way. It's so good. And I love how he's got his more caricatured, the 2 protagonists here. And then he goes into these very, almost like historical record kind of things. It's very cool. Very cool. I was happy to finally pick this up. It's been a long time since I've been kicking myself about not picking these up. So I finally picked up both volumes. And when you see the progression, one thing I really love about Jeff's stuff, and Jeff has done some amazing stuff. He's done a comic for Gwar, for Pete's sake. I've got it back here. He's done a comic. He was in an anthology of comics for the band Gwar. The stuff that Jeff has done is really amazing. And he's such a nice guy. And his partner is so nice. They're cool people. This is pretty special to me. So I don't know if I've ever waxed poetic about my love for heavy metal. Heavy Metal magazine and the Heavy Metal movie and all of those. Jeff managed to find 5 copies of Where is Zog in a box and had them at this show. And I was so happy to pick it up because this originally appeared on heavymetal.com. This was serialized originally with heavy metal. This is the kind of cool shit that Jeff does. Comic for Gwar, stuff on heavy metal. My God. Look at this. I got another absolutely amazing sketch of Zog. So I was talking to Jeff about this, and he said, it's one of those things where this was back when you could get stuff serialized on online sites like Heavy Metal. And it was for Jeff, it was a great time that he actually took to learn to improve his skills in coloring, which is great because I look at a lot of my own work as they are exercises for me to improve my skills. So this is great. Where is Zog? I have 3D. I do know the NAM. My father actually collected the NAM when I was getting into comics back in 1991. My dad got back into comics because I was asking to go to comic shops, and he collected the entire series of the NAM. So the NAM is a special comic to me. I don't have any myself. What I have are the EC comics that are in that same vein. They're more like Second World War and Korean War called Two-Fisted Tales because they were coming out in earlier times. Yeah, I'd like to pick up the NAM. It was a pretty crazy comic. I remember reading some of that. It was pretty crazy. So, folks, that's everything I've got for you today. Let's take a walk back through memory lane and all these amazing pieces. Man, I'll tell you, I make out like a freaking bandit at these things. All I do is I fling my little Ghost Town zines, and I get all this stuff. I'm a happy, happy camper. So, like I said, this will be up on YouTube, and if you like anything that you saw, I do just recommend you, at the very least, follow these folks on Insta. Look at their websites, look at their stuff if you can't seek them out in any other way. Some of these folks, they do sell their stuff, so definitely take a look at their things if you like them. And yeah, thank you for joining me for the Comix Zone. I'm going to stick around for a little while after, and we'll maybe do a couple other things, but that'll be it for the Comix Zone for today. Thanks very much.